Alright, good. Let's see that's working. Alright. Well, it's been a while since I've done this, so yep. Now I'm officially going live now. And I can tell that many of you people are probably excited since this is not a drama live stream anyways. This is of course revisiting my character contest. But yeah, it's been so long. But I do feel good enough to now finally go back to revisit it. Since I had been thinking about, doing season 20 eventually. Let's see though what's going on right now on YouTube before I wait for people to join. Okay, 2 people are watching right now. Hi there. Alright, I mean, I did let my friend John know, of course, but I am wondering to see if he's gonna, of course, join the stream. Okay, I'm just waiting. You know what? Yeah, I'll post it right over here as well, so that way, people can, of course, join the stream as well. So, yeah. Alright, I'm just waiting, of course. I'll just, yeah, while I wait, I'll probably, of course, go over a few, just go over from my other social medias, I guess. Okay, then. No, that's funny. Alright, 3 people are currently watching. I am still waiting. So that way, we can at least have one guest over, so that way. What's this over here? Okay, then. Well, that is usual, I guess. I just don't know because I just feel the same things as usual, but it was fine at least, and I figured out eventually I might want to, of course, go on a live stream, I guess. I basically, of course, messaged my friend Johnson's. He would usually, of course, come here on the stream right away. I'll just DM him and then let's just see though if he's gonna make it. And I'm also gonna see if other people are also gonna make it because I just don't know. I guess I just feel the same things as well, as you probably tell. I would want to buy it. Basically, just waiting so that things can actually be more interesting, so that I don't make the stream go boring. Let me just see. I guess I'm gonna look at my iPad then. Basically. Hmm. Okay, I'm still waiting. I guess. When is Sean gonna respond at least? Well, that sure is crazy. I was just, of course, going over because basically somebody was misgendering a character that I really like a lot. It's from a friend, so of mine, of course. Oh, nice. Oh yeah, and just in case, I'm probably gonna look up more info about, Ugh, great. This is definitely gonna be hard. I gotta say. Okay, I mean. Okay, thanks for telling me about this. Alright, so basically you told me that my friend will indeed be joining. But now we're getting some transphobic moment in my Discord server, apparently at the very moment, really to a character. Okay. So, before I, of course, start this, I am gonna be asking people that are actually watching this. So, other than me revisiting my character contest, what would you like to see me do, anyways? Oh boy, I can basically just see that conversation going on right now. Um, Teapot 13. And it's no surprise why. Because a character I really hate a lot joined that episode. They'll say though Teapot 16 is not far off because my girl pig got out that episode and the insulting talking scene. Basically, that's basically what I have to say. Teapot 13 is just my least favorite, as you can tell. Oh wow, 4 people are watching the stream. Eh. I mean, she would try, but oh wait, are you referring to Japan? Yeah, I do know she at least did had fun, like what Margaret reminded her. And hopefully you were talking about Pin, obviously. And I still wish he would, of course, eventually won Teapot, but sadly that did not happen. But I do appreciate what you basically said, of course. And I could say the same thing for Ice Cube, who got eliminated the same time Pin got out. I just feel sad right now, anyways. Okay, well, I guess that's basically what happened, I guess. Okay. Oh wow, 6 people. I gotta admit that's impressive. All right, I just wanna, of course, wait for somebody to join so that I can finally make things interesting. Never mind, but like whatever. Okay, I am definitely worried, but I just don't know what's going on now. Oh boy, we're playing. Okay, because he did promise me he would join in a minute. Oh my god, this is going crazy. I will say though, seeing this. I'm basically good. I was gonna try to at least um okay then. This is very crazy, I will say, but all right then. Hmm. Wait, is this song copyrighted? Wow. Wait, I'm gonna be checking the first episode because is it true that it actually was able to avoid being copyrighted? Okay, let me check. Let me just check just in case. Okay, yeah, I definitely know the finale, of course, is copyrighted, but oh, great. Yep, I so known that it is copyrighted, but okay. Yeah, I know. It's crazy to see that, and I gotta admit that's impressive. Let's hope it continues because obviously I want Book to win Teapot. To be honestly, I know. Of course, the more people are saying season wouldn't be FDRA, but honestly, if she does, I still want her to win Teapot because why not? But yeah, I gotta admit that is definitely really impressive. Of course. Yeah. I mean, Book is not exactly my favorite character, but she is definitely in my top favorites, of course, I will tell ya. 12th place to be exact, by the way. She's 12th. I mean, obviously, this list is, of course, outdated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is still crazy, of course. Yeah, besides, of course, Book, never being eliminated, only Black Hole, Black Hole, Grassy, Marker, and Fanny have also never been eliminated as well. Yeah, but unlike those five I mentioned, Boku completed, and every in multiple seasons, and Black Hole, Grassy, Marker, and Fanny, who only participated at least in Wounded, but also part is still in BFB, but never got out then, but still in Teapot. Yeah, Winter and Prize, I really only completed one season, and they're also pretty lucky. But yeah, when it comes to the original 64 from BFB, only those five I mentioned before have never been eliminated. Book, Black Hole, yep, Grassy, Marker, and Fanny have never been eliminated. Though it would have been fine if Fanny got out already, because you probably already know I hate her. But my boy Marker, I will indeed be very happy. Of course. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh god, it's already been 15 minutes. Oh yeah, because all the others like Fanny, Grassy, Marker, and Book have been in bottom twos before, but they were able to survive. Oh boy. Okay, I think he might be done already. Now I think I might be able to finally make things more interesting, I guess. So Okay, I just do hope so. I guess. Oh, hi there. This is Avenger Accounts Winter Club. Yeah, I can probably see what you're talking about. I do think maybe Epic Gamer 2005 has potential to improve, but at this rate, I am very uncertain though how he's gonna improve, especially with what he did. And if you know what I mean, you can basically look at my two videos on Epic Gamer 2005. He has been showing me that he has been trying to improve, but I am still very uncertain though how he will. All right, I'm just gonna Now let's take a look to see on my Discord. I guess I do hope for the best, but it is still very Okay, he told me he's ready now. Let me just. Yeah, I basically sent it in links, so I just do hope he can make it in time. And there he is. All right.
Hey,
Hi, John. Okay. My guess the reason why I probably took you this long is because you were still chatting with Cuphead in my Discord server about Among Us helicopters pronouns.
yeah, and also I was outside gardening.
Okay, I could see that. Yep, I was definitely happy. As you remember, she was definitely my least favorite, and I was definitely happy her elimination was the most deserved. But yeah,
I wasn't happy, but hey, her elimination isn't the only reason why I hate that episode.
Okay. Yeah, I don't blame you. Like, I do hope Ultima Salam also improves. Anyways, what's your other reason to hate BFB5?
It was just boring. The elimination took way too long, and the challenge was too short. It was just really bad pacing, is what it was.
Okay.
And at some points, the animation actually looked kind of disgusting, especially at the elimination.
Okay, then. Well,
But hey, I can at least say this: it's better than episode 9.
which was more short?
What?
Which was more short?
Yeah, and it was just nothing interesting happened like at all.
Okay. I mean,
Also,
I still.
huh?
Sorry. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, just saying hypothetically, if Stapy didn't cheat in episode 8, but but his team still lost, who do you think would have gotten out?
I probably would have been fine with, I don't know, somebody like Yellowface leaving, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you already know that Yellowface is the only free member I don't like.
yeah. Honestly, if he didn't cheat but they still lost, I do feel like Yellowface actually would have gotten eliminated.
Yeah, especially since he got the third most votes. Only Puffball and Stapy got more votes, so that would definitely be a heat water for Yellowface. Since, especially due to what some people think about him.
And if they did cheat but they still won and Iance lost, no further questions. Match definitely would have gotten eliminated.
Yeah. Oh, hi there, McLeod. Yeah. I mean, I would have been also fun with Fanny Flower or Snowball out, but yeah, I can see what you mean. I mean, I still don't like BFB5, of course, since you know why I like the episode.
Oh, and by the way, I forgive Pi for that moment, but I still don't like her.
Okay.
Just wanted to say that in case you thought that I hated her for surviving over Lai. That was never my reasoning, and I've already forgiven her for that.
I do remember watching that, but yeah, I really don't get. Are you referring to an SSE? Because if you haven't watched the episode already, like he did rejoin.
I saw that, and honestly, it was way too predictable. But not bad. I will say, not bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and speaking of which, I remembered a while ago in my prediction on who will rejoin. I remembered in that episode you basically had a problem with, you basically did also thought I also only had Owen as the least voted contestant to rejoin. Not just because I hate it, because I also think, and coincidentally enough, at least that part came true. He only got the unlucky number 13 votes, which I gotta admit, that's funny.
Honestly, I mean, I wasn't entirely surprised, but honestly, I just didn't really care that much. I don't care.
All right.
But hey, it was for a good cause, so that Waluigi could stay in. Because he's the goat.
Yeah, even though no offense, I would have been actually fine with Waluigi leaving, as he's the only one on the super awesome team I don't like left.
Okay. Oh yeah, and as of right now, in the top 140 character contest, what am I gonna? What am I saying? Um, I was gonna say, so far, what do you think of it so far? Like, what do you think of the storyline for it at the moment?
Interesting, though I will say it could have been better. Anyways, Luna McCall. Yeah, obviously I do. I would have wanted Yellow to rejoice. I could at least be happy instead of Red. The NMN could be happy as well. And Any Tales, I don't think I've heard of that. I don't think I've really heard of that, to be honest.
Me neither. Um, oh yeah, and I've got something special planned for after the second team phases merge. And you want to know what that is?
What?
Um, basically, after the merge, there's going to be a challenge of sorts,
Okay.
and that is each contestant still in the merge will get a number. I will do a number generator, and if that character's number is landed on, then they are safe. The last person to have their number landed on will be automatically eliminated.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it'll take a long time because I am planning for that merge to be at like final 60, I think. I don't know.
Okay, not bad. Anyways, I hope they do, because honestly, they have lost so many times. I can probably see what you mean by saying, "Oh, every object so has a unlucky team." Honestly, John.
Yeah, well, technically season 2 didn't but I mean, the bright lights were close. The bright lights were close to being that.
All right.
Until it ended up being the Grand Slams because they ended up losing more. And also, just saying hypothetically, if Marker ended up getting immunity, if ended up keeping his immunity from episode, what was it, 26 26, and on the purple team, and Bonnie was still immune, who would you have voted for to win immunity instead of Marker?
Probably number block 7.
Okay. And also on the blue team, if Teardrop also kept her immunity and Pomni was still immune from episode 30, who would you have voted for to win immunity on that as well instead?
Ugh. Honestly, I sometimes do forget who's there. Honestly.
Oh yeah. I can tell you right now, the contestants on the blue team were Ashley, Glader with Leather Boots, Cade Mullane, Karma, Minecraftian, and Phone. But obviously, I know you're not going to pick the last one.
Yeah, obviously. Honestly, I'll have to answer you to that another time.
Oh, okay. I thought you would already know.
Yeah, and plus, I don't really want to answer it right now because you already know what I am, of course, trying to do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, I got sidetracked. We can start now.
All right, good. So, John, I guess you're ready to revisit the biggest contest I have done so far.
Yep.
Yep, and you're gonna be exciting, but also pretty stressful to watch, as you can probably tell.
Yeah.
Okay then, yeah, hello, and yep, here it is, of course. My top 220 character contest.
I honestly thought that this contest would never end.
I mean, anything is possible, basically, because, because I already ended, a 200 contest and a 100 contest, so it's fair that 220 would not even hurt that much as well.
Yeah, and plus, I am also and also my reboot for my huge character voting. It's only got 200 characters, so it shouldn't be that hard. And the top 140 contest shouldn't be hard either. There's only 92 contestants left.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's about 22 more eliminations until we make it to the halfway mark, since 140 divided by 2 is 70.
Yeah. And at that point, we'll be at the second team phase where there's 8 teams of 10, and something crazy will happen like near the end of that team phase before the merge.
Well, okay then.
I'll just say it at that point. And that in one certain elimination, only one team will have immunity.
Okay. What? Yeah, basically, if you, of course, basically watched this a year ago, you already know how he, of course, did this. And it was indeed very big and also pretty stressful due to some certain characters, placements, of course, and especially with.
Yeah.
At least with the end, basically, it did, worth it, especially with who won. That is representing my profile, but I'm not going to say yet in case. I mean,
yeah, but I think everyone knows now.
Yeah, if you already kind of watched it and you can pretty much tell. But just in case, so that way you can get a recap, I'm of course going to go over it. All right, so are you ready, everybody?
Well, I'm the only one here, but yes, I'm ready.
Yeah. All right.
Hey guys, my name is Emoji Marble.
You don't really have to say what I'm basically saying in the text.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep, I did also mention that there will be twists before here in this season.
My contest has some twists too.
Yep. And I figured out the number would be 220. And here it is. Everybody that's competing in my 220 character contest. That sure is a lot, don't you agree, John?
Yeah, it is a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I do remember I did ask you how many do you recognize, but I'm wondering how much do you recognize right over here? Who's in this contest do you know?
Okay, yeah. There is a lot here. Like at least 100 that I can recognize. There's the OTA contestants. Speaking of which, sooner or later I might need those squares. There's some OFA contestants, BFDI contestants, Sonic characters, Number Blocks, SpongeBob characters, Mario characters, YouTubers, including me and you, and some trolls and ponies, open source objects, more countries. The only ones that I can really say are USA and Mexico and UK and Canada. Those are the ones that I can actually recognize without getting them mixed up like I used to back in 2023. And Angry Birds and Elmo and Cookie Monster from Sesame Street and Lego, the Lego movie characters, and some Spider-Man variants. I think I'm done with all that. And some Pokemans.
Yep. Basically, it was indeed crazy because I was thinking about, I don't know who was worth it, but I figured out it was worth Polly including in that much characters, I will say.
Yeah.
Anyways, and I guess you were probably rooting for Squidward to win this season, right?
Of course, because he is and will always be my favorite cartoon character, unless one of the others that are near him ends up becoming better, like Pillow and Pencil and all those other guys from BFDI, and Jackson Pomney from Tadsy and Lonnie Dose. Well, he's not a character, but he means a lot to me, you know?
Yeah. You already know who I was, of course, rooting for, of course.
Yeah, there were a lot you were rooting for. Like, there was the Peppa Pig and George and Leafy and Fiery and the Fantastic Four from both Peppa Pig and BFDI, who are technically the main characters.
Yeah, but I was mostly rooting for Leafy as, because I already stayed before Peppa Pig already won a season,
Yeah, I'm still living with a bunch of guilt. All right, but yeah, there were a lot of characters that I was also rooting for, but some of them kind of got eliminated early.
Yep, and it's due to, I don't know, what people were probably thinking and the viewers apparently.
Yeah, sometimes the viewers just don't make the best choices.
Yep, and I already do know some great examples of that. Which we'll probably see in throughout this contest, of course.
Yeah. I cannot imagine what will happen once I do the top 170 character contest, the top 200 character contest, the top 250 character contest, and then the top 300 character contest. In which the 300 contest has its cast has not been fully thought out yet, unfortunately.
Okay then. All right. But yep, officially, yep, everybody right over here, of course, isn't here. Yep. And I basically want to time scroll out the votes, but oh wait. Oh yeah, there's your vote right over here. You remember this from a year ago? You said this.
Yeah, I do remember that. And my opinions on those have not changed since, except George is not. I can confidently say George is not my least favorite cartoon character anymore.
All right, but it was still yeah, but it is still crazy. But I guess because I remembered originally you voted for loser to be the first one out.
Yeah, that was before I realized that George and some others were there that I hated more than Loser. Um, and by the way, if you want to know, the people that I now hate more than George, they're all from the same show.
And what exactly is that?
I can't tell you it because I don't want you getting any ideas, but in short, it's a show that's only made to bully me.
Oh my god.
And yeah, I know it's crazy. The person that made it, I hate them so much, and I would actually hate anyone who likes that show.
Okay, I gotta say that is definitely questionable. And oh my god.
I know it's questionable, but honestly, can you really blame me when the only reason that that show exists is to torture me? Like, it's disrespectful to me in every regard. The acronym for it is BFJAHMV.
Okay. I'll definitely consider looking into that, but all right. But yeah, I guess that was
Trust,
crazy, but yeah.
trust me, you will not like it at all if you find out what it is.
Okay then. Anyways, yeah, I'm of course gonna eventually, and it is still same though because I'm still worried. But just in case, I guess I'm gonna take what you basically said, John. I'm gonna mute the first few minute music. Okay.
Okay, yeah, sure, do that.
And I really wish I could play the music because honestly, I was literally using some really great soundtrack, from a certain DreamWorks movie that I actually became into, which led me to, actually include in the characters from there.
Yeah, I can see that. It does suck. Copyright does suck.
Yeah. And like, how come YouTube is fine with, using copyright music, and of course you will not likely be taken down, but how come with live streams they're more strict all of a sudden?
I don't know. I haven't experienced it that much, and I unfortunately now I can't make live streams anymore because StreamChamp, which is the website that I use to make live streams, won't let me. And I'm too scared to live stream on Twitch.
Oh, okay then.
But I will say though, I do believe that I might be able to do live streams again once I actually turn 16 or something. And once that happens, I will actually do some more live streams, mostly on StreamYard, and they'll most likely be to revisit some of my contests, like the top 140 character contest, and revisit Mabs. And yeah. Oh yeah. What did you think of the two remasters for the first two episodes?
I only watched remaster 1. I'm definitely gonna look at remaster 2 eventually.
Okay, good. Oh yeah, and what did you think of my most recent TikTok that I made that included 4 of the Mavs contestants?
Oh, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, okay. It's all right.
All right. Well, let's just get this over with, I guess. I'm just gonna imagine, actually hearing the music because, as I said before, it's just really great music, but unfortunately, due to copyright issues. But oh well. Also, if you guys want to, actually hear what music I was using, you can just look up top 220 character contests, and you can pretty much see why I had to mute the first music. I'm obviously gonna do this. Like, I'll unmute the music if the music is definitely not copyrighted, by the way. And yep, there he is, the first immunity winner, of course.
Yeah, yeah, I like the guy.
Yeah, same here, because, I do remember watching 2011, and of course the sequel basically improved it anyways.
Oh yeah, I have a poster of Puss in Boots on my wall.
Oh, cool.
Want to see it?
Sir, yeah, I want to see it.
Yeah, hold up. Nope. Hold on, let me just, here it is.
Oh, that's adorable. He's
I
basically
know.
saying, trust me.
Oh yeah, and the one thing that makes this poster unique from all the other posters that I have in my room is that this one has some different material, and it's hang on by nails instead of tacks.
Oh, okay. But
They
yeah,
were
very cute.
loud. They
And
were.
I, of course, basically was actually excited to see that he won the first immunity, which was well deserved, of course.
Yeah. When someone wins immunity to the first episode, you can definitely expect them to make it far. I did with my contest, and whoever that is, who I won't be mentioning, they still haven't gotten eliminated yet, and I am honestly confident that they're going to make it far.
Yeah, of course there are some exceptions, but yeah. Anyways, and I can tell you're going to be happy about this, John, but
Yeah.
yep.
This was all the satisfaction that I needed at the time. Seeing my least favorite character ever, at the time, be the first eliminated.
Yep. And of course, I'm still using the shading technique, as you can see. You can see George's icon is now shaded.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to do that. But I can't. Oh yeah, speaking of which, what do you think of all my twists for the top 140 contest?
I don't think I know about that. Anyways, for the twist, they're not necessarily twists that I would fully do, but
Oh yeah, the twist that I was talking about was every 10 episodes, someone would win immunity 10 for 10 episodes, and then every 11 episodes, 2 people would be eliminated, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And then rejoin every 14 eliminations. Well, we skipped one.
All right.
What did you think of all that?
I don't know. Okay.
Sorry. Sorry.
All right. Still wish I could have played it, but I still imagined. We had our first tie already, and it was crazy, but
Yeah, 6 in a tie. I could not imagine how painful that was, especially since my contest had a bunch of ties, and some of them were between 2 characters that didn't even deserve what they got.
yep. But at least, eventually. But it was at least easy choice for me since I already know who I think would have won immunity at least. Yep. Yeah, and you can pretty much tell I was pretty much set to do this, huh, John?
Yeah, I could definitely tell.
Just not to be heard the next out after. It's just. Yep. Great.
Did I even vote on the last episode? I forgot.
Wait, let me take a look at the comments right there. Okay. Okay. No. Okay, yeah, you didn't. I guess you were offline then.
Yeah, the contest was like it was like I believe it was like uploaded in the middle of the night, so then after that, I must have fallen asleep.
Yeah. If you were able to at least help me, like between Golf Ball Book, Caillou, Sleepy as well, I guess. Like if you were to actually help me, between the four, who would you likely end up picking so that way the tie can be broken or so that way Pick would have at least survived?
Yeah, I would have chosen Caillou because yeah, he is still honestly insufferable to me. At least the classic counterpart. I don't know much about the modern counterpart, but yeah, I even hate classic Caillou more than I hated any BFDI character that I hated.
Okay. I mean, it would be a very nonsensical cliche. I did at least remind myself this that C1 season 4. And yep, there's the first immunities, of course.
Yep.
Now, yep, I'm indeed gonna be, but yeah, pretty much episode 4 now. And another tie. It was at least easy for me again. I did mention before this is kind of a coincidence, right?
Yeah, it's really really funny.
Yeah, forwarding the immunity in the 4th episode. Now, I guess that shows that this episode was definitely special,
Yep. That is also a crazy coincidence. Whenever I decide, do you know exactly why I decided to have 2 contestants eliminated every 11 episodes?
Wait, is it because of the digits where 1 and 1 make 11 and how 1 plus 1 equals 2 math?
Yeah. That's exactly it. And also, the next rejoin of my top 140 character contest, it is going to occur on episode 43, and you can guess what how it's gonna happen.
Okay.
2 people rejoining.
That's exactly what I was thinking, of course.
And it's special in there because it is going to be an object show rejoin and a non-object show rejoin.
Okay.
So basically, someone from BFDI, BFTROR, MABS, Anasimbib, and Object Idiocy will have a chance to rejoin, and then someone from Disventure Camp, The Amazing Digital Circus, about time someone other than Jax got eliminated in that contest, and Number Blocks will also have a chance.
All right.
Not SpongeBob or FNAF, since none of their characters have gotten out yet.
Yeah. And now officially it's another tie. It was so hard since, I like all of those characters,
Yeah, but if I was deciding this tie, then it would be the easiest choice ever.
Yeah, I can probably try to guess, but oh well. It's just the same that so I just had to pick the one I like the least.
Oh, wait a second. How ironic. It was a 5-way tie, and 5 from Number Blocks was involved in the tie.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. And, yeah, pretty much what you basically said, it is now eliminated.
Yeah,
Get this. This is the same. This contest came out the same year when people would actually, find out a worse brat than Caillou.
And who is that?
Little brown bear. The guy that
yeah.
says, "You're so horrible."
Oh yeah. I did also figure out some worse brats than Caillou as well.
Yep.
And I'm sure you can probably guess who one of them is.
Manny Alfie.
What?
Manny from Daria from Kid, technically.
Yes, and also DW and Daniel Tiger.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Like, honestly, I of course just don't like Caillou because, not just because, oh, I don't know, I feel sad for him, but because I also remember growing up with him as well.
Yep.
Ugh. Honestly, say what you will about Caillou, but I'm still gonna like him at least. Like, I agree those episodes are pretty messed up, but honestly, I still like Caillou. That's not gonna change my mind.
Hey, we can at least say that Caillou isn't bad as a whole, but classic Caillou is terrible. We could say that, right?
I mean, yeah, I'll admit the classic version of it is terrible, but oh well. And this is where, it would continue to say where preschool characters would end up being the first ones eliminated, apparently.
Hey, at least that cliche didn't happen in my contest.
Yeah, since you only added like one preschool series, that being Number Blocks anyways.
And it's almost half, and already almost half of its characters are gone.
Yeah. It sure is a shameful, but oh well. Thankfully, okay, this will be spoilers, but at least a non-object a non-preschool character will finally be eliminated this episode at least. I wasn't indeed hoping, but oh well. Oh boy. Yeah, I picked him since he was pretty much my favorite out of the three, to be honest.
Yeah, I could see that.
Since you know why, of course, that's the case anyways. If you see one of my recent TikToks.
Yeah, because he's from your favorite movie and stuff like that.
Yep.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, have you ever seen this series called Cartoon Beatbox Battles?
I heard of it, and I think, okay, maybe I actually did watch a few episodes, but I am not really that much into it.
Yeah, okay. I'm personally into it, and you can see why if you saw episode 37 of my contest.
Yeah. All right.
I added a solo from my favorite character in Cartoon Beatbox Battles.
Oh, wow. And there he is, our first non-preschool character eliminated. Kane Trolix, out of all people, I'm surprised.
I'm not that surprised. He wasn't really that important in the second Trolls movie anyway, so
Well, I found him really cool, honestly. Like how he would, of course, play that One More Time song, and of course, the beginning. Since I do enjoy a good amount of electric music.
Yeah, I personally found him cool too. One of the pluses that I could give to the second Trolls movie, even though I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah, I do consider Trolls World Tour to be definitely the weakest Trolls movie, honestly. I think the first one's better, and the third one is a slight improvement over the second one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the third one either, but I do like the first one quite a lot.
Same here. Oh, but yeah, I mean, the third one, yeah, the first and third ones to me are just really good. The second one is definitely also pretty good, just as much as the other two, but it's definitely the weakest, honestly, for me.
Yeah, I can see that.
So many disappointing stuff, honestly.
Yeah, it was so disappointing. It was literally a world tour movie.
Yeah, and also some really messed up moments, I will say.
And also because Total Drama's best season was World Tour because of all the amazing songs.
I mean, I'm not really sure about that, but okay. But yeah, I was basically surprised, but I am impressed to at least see that eventually a non-preschool character finally got out anyways. God, sometimes I wish I could still play the music because it just so fits well. The fact that it had to be a tie between Dio. If... Oh my god, what are you doing here? No! No! No!
Oh my god, what happened?
Abdullah actually tried to join my stream!
Oh, hell no. Do not let that guy join in.
Yeah, obviously I'm not, because of all of the bad stuff he did. Good thing I had to ban him from joining the stream, obviously.
Yep.
I'm not in the mood for drama right now. Like, that could be for another stream, but since Abdullah is going to try to start some stuff, I am obviously not going to let that happen.
Yeah, this might surprise you, but I actually could agree that that guy might actually be the worst person that I've seen on the internet now.
Yep, even worse than Xavier.
Yes, that guy has actually left me alone. I have not heard anything from him in a while.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Abdullah is definitely among my most least favorite users of all time, honestly. Like, if you basically seen the, if you basically seen, of course, the conflict me and him had after the edible Yaxel situation, let's just say, though, he would basically get worse. Even seeing that he recently got some new allegations, like he stalked a, a woman in real life, and even threatened to actually, and even hack some accounts. Like, one of his former friends told me about that.
Yeah, I think I might actually make a video on that on him. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure yet, but he is actually worse than the toxic pillow haters that I made a video on, and that those toxic lie haters that I'm starting to see now.
I mean, usually I view light fans to be more toxic, but yeah, I also and also Xavier, also including you're also basically saying he's worse than Xavier as well.
Yeah, yeah, and I never even got a chance to make a video on Xavier anyway, but it's okay now since he doesn't deal with me anymore. I'm still also gonna make that video that I planned on that one toxic lie hater. Actually no, actually toxic lie haters in general, but I'm just gonna wait until some people start to actually get angry at me for liking lie, because that's definitely possible.
Yeah. I mean, because you already know, I of course dealt with Lai fans, and they were angry at me for hating her. You probably saw what they were doing to me, basically sending me death threats and hoping I die a cruelty way.
Yeah, I definitely see that, but that doesn't mean that their haters are not toxic. That doesn't mean that the haters are not toxic.
All right, but honestly, based off what I've seen, the fan base is much more toxic than the haters. Honestly, based off my point of view, of course.
Yeah, based on your point of view, and you already but I don't know if it's gonna be as bad as the pillow hate base. You did see what they did to me and some other pillow fans, right?
Yeah, I mean, I still personally find Phil's fan base to be worse, but I will agree if they do send death threats and basically go that far, that's when I'll definitely be criticizing them, of course.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even as someone who has Pillow as their favorite character in BFDI, they I can agree. I can see where people would say, "Oh, her fans are toxic," but the haters are actually much, much worse.
Well, that's debatable. Yeah, I kind of did mention this as a coincidence. If I were to choose, if this was based off my current opinion, I would definitely pick Tennis Ball to win immunity, honestly.
Honestly, I've always preferred Fries from the start, and you can definitely tell now. Since he is, in fact, my third favorite character and my favorite contestant in BFDIA, based on BFDIA.
Alright, I know. I mean, I did only because I still liked Fries more than Tennis Ball at that time.
Oh
So my
yeah,
interest in
speaking
him
of
kind of
which,
decreased.
oh yeah, and speaking of which, the plants that I'm gardening outside are actually potatoes and tomatoes, and I'm using those things to make some fries and ketchup.
Cool. Oh yeah, that's true. Because yeah, Codbase actually did know my existence before he heard some of my comments.
Hmm. Yeah, he knew my existence as well. Hang on, I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. Let me just mourn when I lose another childhood icon of mine right now. You know, I don't even want to take a look because I will just probably click the ranking, I guess. I seriously am not gonna let Abdullah actually join the stream. Wait. I'm gonna stop staring for a bit then. I need to check an eye on what's going on right now. Okay, he still hasn't posted, but I can definitely know but I definitely do know that he is definitely still active. You know, Still waiting for John to come back, I guess. I'm wondering if is. I wonder if. Oh, you're back now.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just doing something right now, because my mom called me over because she needed me to, clean up something in her room.
Okay. Anyways, basically, where did I left off? Oh yeah, this disappointing elimination. This is why I was so skeptical about giving Fries immunity because like I was worried about losing another childhood icon of mine, honestly. But oh well, I guess. Yeah, I also did mention there was also a tie between elimination for Fries and Dora, but since I still liked Fries more, and since it was kind of a hard decision to pick me between him, it was gonna be hard, I gotta say.
Yeah, and there have also been some ties in my contest where someone that wins immunity has a tie for the most immunity votes and the most elimination votes.
Yeah, I guess. But that sure is great, I guess, but oh well. And keep in mind, this was, of course, back then. I actually like the character who wins this immunity this time. And, yep, you're probably happy about this, John, of course.
Of course I am. And also, why didn't you like him at the time?
I probably just did not really like his personality or how he would usually treat SpongeBob and Patrick. That's pretty much the reason why.
Honestly, for me, it's the opposite way around. I don't like how they treat him because, like, they're literally annoying. And in season 4 and 8, most of the episodes that came out were where the plot was literally nothing but just, oh, Squidward get hurt.
Yikes. Yeah, basically, I started to like him now because I realize he actually does deeply care for them, of course, now.
Yeah, yeah, honestly, though, yeah, I'm glad to see that you, like him now because, yeah, you can already see why.
Yeah, and plus, I realize there are times where he actually does care for, SpongeBob and Patrick,
Yeah, he is way more than just a grumpy neighbor.
Yep, and at times I do actually feel his pain,
Yep, me too. Some of my friends are indeed assholes too.
Yeah. And there's our first country eliminated, Ressa. Honestly, I kind of predicted he would definitely be out early, as you know why.
Yep. They're wars.
Yep. At least Ressa did not get last place, but this is still really sad. 6 to last place, only being out 5 characters.
I did not expect the country to be eliminated this early.
Are you trying to do a Ressan accent?
Yes. Yes. Right. It kind of sounds like Winner TBH.
Alright.
Oh yeah, and Homik in Object Idiocy also has a Russian accent, at least in season 4 and onward.
Based on what it looks like, since you mentioned before, it sounds like Winner. It's now making me believe that British and Russian accents are now very similar.
Winner actually has a New Zealand accent, or like their voice actor is from New Zealand.
Oh wow, okay.
Oh yeah, and that's also funny because I was just talking about Object Idiocy. The creator of Object Idiocy also lives in New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, and he also voices 3 characters in Defy.
All right. Honestly, I could be living in New Zealand right now, honestly.
By the way, those 3 are Skittles, Brother, Doritos Can, and Glass Cup.
Okay.
Also, speaking of which, in Defy, besides that brown circle that has letter A all over his face, do you know who your least favorite is besides that character in Defy?
I'll have to. Maybe I should probably rewatch the episode then. I'll probably let you know. How about that?
Yeah, okay. And then sooner or later, show me your tier list because I did make one.
All right. And I mean, this will contain spoilers, but a future winner for a future season. But yep, Singapore is the first country to win immunity.
You know, at some point, I'm thinking about maybe visiting that country at some point.
Yeah, I remember in a Q&A video you did mention before about probably going to Singapore someday.
Yeah.
Basically, I'll probably tell you what the country's like because Singapore is known for being one of the richest countries in the world. But it is known for a bit of laws and a bit strict, but at times it's also very beautiful as well. But yeah. Well, I do technically prefer, I technically do prefer some other countries that are in the same region as Singapore, which is Southeast Asia, the Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia. But Singapore was able to at least do that.
Yep.
Oh yeah, John, you may want to look at this because you're probably happy that this happened.
Yeah, I am happy because of some stuff that he's done in certain episodes that made me hate him.
Yeah, I can see, but oh well. Eh. Well, no, obviously not, because money is goaded to me. Yeah, honestly, it's crazy because this is probably his worst performance yet.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
This is where things get more chaotic, I bet. A future sign. And winner wins technically immunity hill.
Yeah, that is funny.
And we have our first official character out, Pencil.
She did not deserve to be eliminated that early. The viewers just did not see her potential at the time.
I mean, to be fair, this was before. Oh, hi there. Anyways, yeah, to be fair though, this was before, Pencil would debut in Teapot and where we have not seen the Exeter, so pretty expected that she would still be hated,
Yeah, true. Honestly, yeah, at one point she was my least favorite character before I started liking her again in 2023.
Yeah. But, yep, oh well. You know what? It's also kind of a coincidence because get this. I remember in Connor Durley's old character contest, Patrick got last place, and Mercer got last place in my 100 character contest, and Pencil got, got last place in BFB, and now coincidentally enough, that's 3 last placers in a row who got last place in some competition says that me or something else did,
Yeah, and that's also a crazy coincidence because I have a friend who made this one character voting, and it had BFDI in it, and Pencil ended up being eliminated first, but she rejoined.
All right, but oh well.
And she ended up placing 24th overall out of 170.
Wow.
If you want to know who that is, it's Shiny Teardrop's random character voting.
Okay.
She and I have been friends for 5 years.
All right. I didn't mention before this, even though I did like her, but yeah, I was at least expecting eventually that would happen, but oh boy, this is when things would finally get more chaotic, but oh well.
Hold up.
Okay. Okay, all right. Well, at least that's something. Okay, well, I guess now we can yeah, continue now. This is where it would become a trend, but okay. I mean, you can already tell who would, of course, be out, but oh well. Anyways, yep. But thank goodness, because you probably already know I hate golf ball, as you can tell, John.
Yeah, I can tell. But as
I
of
know I
right
can
now,
tell. Huh?
she is currently my pick to win Teapot.
Well, I personally hope that does not happen, honestly. It would honestly be a bit worrying because other characters personally deserved it more. But yeah. But oh well. But okay then, I guess. Oh
My
wait,
only hope
listen,
is
I realized that, Pencil and Golfball got out the nearby almost same placements. And you guess what team they're on,
Cloudier, aka the best team, the best and most powerful team to exist in BFDI.
Okay. That is honestly a coincidence if you ask me. 2 Cloudier members got out that time. This time.
Yeah, and it's
And
honestly
and
it's
get this.
honestly sad though because Cloudier is the best team ever.
No, I also hate Golf Ball as well. Personally, due to her bossy butt personality. But yeah, and also coincidence because another thing is Winner also won immunity the same time that Pencil got out in the previous episode. So I guess Winner is pretty much more like compared to in my character classes compared to Pencil and Golf Ball.
But in Teapot, they're still not as liked as those two.
Yeah, well, sort of, because Winner did get the third most votes to be safe in Teapot, and got the second most votes to be safe in also Teapot. Well, technically in separate episodes 13 and 17.
Yeah, but in both those times, they did get beaten out by Golf Ball and technically Pencil.
Yeah, that's true. But oh well.
I don't know if I would count the debut votes for that, but actually, no, come to think of it, Winner actually did get more votes than Pencil in episode 13. Because in that episode, Pencil received 20,300.
Oh no! Don't remind me about that. Don't remind me of that, please. Please don't. I know exactly what you're referring to.
Sorry.
But here's the thing, though. It was separate. That was for a debut, and that was vote to who to be safe. But okay.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, that's also a crazy coincidence because in season 2 of my contest, spoiler warning, but Golf Ball and Winner will be there.
Okay. I didn't want to do that. And yeah, I was referencing about how, Tennis Ball literally became a simp in Teapot 6. You'll probably remember that, huh?
Teapot 5?
Oh yeah, Teapot 5. Yeah, that's what I meant. I still do remember those moments. What, of course, TB did. I will admit that was probably a sign that he was getting slenderized, but thankfully he was able to return after being separated.
Yeah. Too bad though that he's probably gonna get eliminated in near the next 2 eliminations. He's definitely not gonna be make it further than GB, but he's probably still gonna survive against the next elimination, but after that he'll probably end up getting eliminated sooner or later.
Well, my prediction, I bet Lai and Tennis Ball will be out. You can obviously guess why Lai is, of course, I'm predicting Lai will be out, since you know how much I hate her. And since,
but
you want to also know why I also believe Tennis Ball will be out along with her? Because
you like him the least?
Yeah, and also since I do feel like he might have already stopped serving his purpose. Tennis Ball did have a really great purpose in Teapot, and I do feel like it might be finally time that he will finally serve his purpose.
Don't get your hopes up though.
Yeah, but I also recommend you do the same thing, because who you predict, Book and Marker, I believe they're actually going to survive. It'll definitely be a close call between Book, Marker, Tennis Ball, and pretty much Lai as well. I can definitely tell that.
But I mean, I'm not necessarily getting my hopes up. It is literally just a prediction, but it's not even biased because if it was biased, then I would have predicted that Grassy would have gotten eliminated. But we all know that's not going to happen at this point.
Yeah, unlike those other four I mentioned, Grassy's definitely guaranteed to be safe since you know what he's been through anyway, and since you know he actually had a great purpose.
But I am scared that he'll probably lose votes because some of the kid voters are gonna stop voting him because he actually did something.
All right. And I also do know that Price Tag and Winner are also guaranteed safe as well. But yeah, oh well. How wouldn't you be worried? But okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's loading right now. I'm just gonna. Okay, there. And that's a coincidence that I was literally talking about him.
Yeah. And it's also a coincidence. In the top 140 contest too, he is like actually the second character to have won immunity and then get eliminated after at some point.
Yeah.
But hey,
I mean, I already did mention who will be out in my opinion, Ben. Like what Pentastic? What's your thoughts? Who do you think is getting out that episode? Oh great. Oh boy. Okay, well. Like I mentioned before, it will definitely be a really close call. I will admit to that, honestly. Between Bookmarker, Tennis Ball, and Lai. I already know when their Price Tag and of course Grassy are guaranteed safe, but yeah. Ugh. And there goes Sedley the Nail It character. After Yep, exactly. Such a shame that C had to be out this early, honestly.
Yeah.
Because you probably already know I like Nail It a lot because I do find her to be really cool, especially her Nail It line.
Yeah, I like Neely as well, and also Pencil will be in the top 200 character contest.
Yeah, you already read about that. Pentastic. I'm just hoping it's Lai and Tennis Ball since Book and Marco are literally one of my favorites, but also due to what they basically serve, because I do believe Marker and Book had better purposes. That's why I can tell they're definitely going to survive. But but you do have a great point on why those four are definitely at risk.
The only thing that I can say in my prediction is that Lai might actually not get out because she actually had more screen time than the other three. But don't call me stupid for that, okay? Don't call me stupid.
I wasn't, but I'm just saying. But here's something you should know: more screen time can also cause some other characters to be haters. You know, the way Lai had used her screen time was honestly just a bit, just insulting to be honest. Compared to Grassy and Winter, where they actually were being good, Lai was just being the opposite. Like, but well, yeah.
The worst I could see her getting is bottom 3, but I still don't see her getting out. But that is not biased.
Well, I can definitely see her getting out. Oh boy. All right, I'm just gonna continue on with this. Still saying that Nelly had to be out. You know, it was probably hard because during Teapot 5, before I actually hated Pillow, I used to like every Just Not member. It was so going to be hard to get rid of one of them, sadly.
Yeah, I could tell.
Of course, now that I actually hate one of the Just Not members, Pillow, I already know if I wanted one of them to be out, you already know who I would, of course, pick.
Yeah, and I also did already decide who I would have wanted to be out. And hey, at least it actually happened.
Yeah, even though I don't even want to think about it because I found those eliminations to be really unfair.
How exactly were they unfair exactly?
Because at least they were actually, I don't know, better characters compared to, I don't know, what Pillow would do. Like
that is not a reason for those eliminations to be unfair.
It technically is because, like, again, at least they would have actually done some really better stuff, while Pillow would literally cause some chaos, honestly.
That still doesn't necessarily make it unfair.
It kind of does. Like, okay, Nelly kind of did have it coming since he was sidelined, but like the other eliminations I'm thinking about, no. Honestly, I'm just gonna continue on then. Yeah, I can definitely gonna make. I definitely do hope Nelly in season 20. I do hope Nelly does get a better placement. Honestly, season 1 justice. And yeah, this was basically a trend. I would, of course, whoever wins immunity every 11 episodes, technically, they would, of course, basically, yeah,
Be immune for 11 episodes.
yeah. And, I mean, kind of almost predictable, but okay, I guess.
Oh yeah, the immunities in my contest are also getting predictable, and some of them don't even deserve it.
I don't blame you at times. I think more characters deserved it. Not to entirely hated characters like, Yossi, of course, since I do like him. It's just that, and I'm gonna imagine in his SACE. Okay. I'm gonna imagine his SACE scream. Ah, whoopsie, whoopsie. Oh my god, that would never be iconic, honestly. Eventually, maybe if I'm gonna give Red another chance, I'm probably gonna also add Yellow. Let's hope they don't get separated that early, like what they experienced in SACE.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. I basically just did a pun like this. Oh yeah, I remember this moment where people would. I'm basically gonna be explained because this will be kind of almost like the 200 contest situation over again. But if you remember, of course, uh, yeah, I basically told these people that you cannot vote twice. Like that would basically be like I basically not gonna count votes if you basically could be voting more than once.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that was also a problem for me back in like episode 21 of my top 140 character contest. And you can guess why,
yeah, basically the fact that I don't know. I don't know where these two people basically did since they did basically said, "Oh, vote for eliminated," even though I never won a contest. I mean, I would like it, but oh well, I'm more focused on my favorite characters winning over me. But like, it just really had to be like this. Like, can these people just I don't know, just vote just once at least?
Yeah, and
Because
also yeah, and in my contest the problem was two teams were up for elimination, right? You know, uh you know that, right?
Mhm.
And I did say that you could vote for two people to win immunity and to be eliminated, but they didn't understand that they had to be on separate teams.
Okay. Yeah. If I did count these votes, then I guess I would definitely be eliminated this early, which is gonna be sad because honestly, seeing myself out this early is just, just honestly crazy. Honestly, like 209th place, really.
Yeah, but hey, at least you made it much further than that.
Yeah, even much further than some other characters that I really liked a lot. But oh my god, it was just crazy. Honestly, I just felt like I had to basically do that because I did mention before that those two people had the audacity to apparently vote twice when I told them you can only vote once. I mean, this was kind of predictable since as this is the 13th episode, the unlucky number apparently. Oh, great. Yep. Obviously, I like all of them, but like, what do I have to pick? I obviously gonna choose myself since I don't want to risk being eliminated this early, anyways.
Yeah, but hey, at least 13 wasn't an unlucky number in my contest,
Yeah, but it is unlucky for me since I got spammed voted. Even though I may have won immunity, at least it still doesn't really matter. But okay, I guess. So instead, of course, Yep, that led to China's elimination here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I am so sad, but oh well. Yeah, exactly. I did mention before, like, really though, the China hate really, it's really only the president and the government system to blame. Yes, I agree, China's government and president system is pretty bad, but honestly, the country itself is still really cool for me. Since you can tell why, I mean, I find China to be a really fascinating country for me. You can tell, John, huh?
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah. That's why China is personally one of my favorite countries and definitely one of my top places to visit. Honestly. But oh well. And yeah, like Ressa, he also did worse as well. Yep.
Oh yeah, and sooner or later in my contest, I plan on making a season where all series from previous contests are competing. What season should I have that be?
Maybe. Wait, how many seasons do you have planned exactly?
Hmm. At least like 6 or 7. No. At 10 plus. 10 plus.
Oh wow, maybe you should save that for season 20 then. That would be a great all-star season then.
Yeah.
Since I am planning, as I told you on DMs, I'm planning my next contest to be very big, of course, even bigger than this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do you have any like character recommendations for my W contest and purple contest in that one community post I made?
I don't think so. Honestly, I'll have to probably see. But yeah. And just slowly, at least you won't be confused because obviously, just a reminder that this is what Turkey looks like. Of course,
Yeah,
one with the moon and the white.
I know that now. I know that.
But at least if China was still in, but since China's now out, you can at least now tell that whatever flag you basically see with between them, that will definitely, of course, mean that you can definitely tell that's Turkey, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I can tell the differences now. I've been able to tell since 2023 after that I realized my mistake.
Yep. Okay. This is pretty much the first time you were in a tie. You remember this?
Yeah, I remember being in a tie. Well, actually, no. All I remember is that at one point I got immunity.
Yeah, but I guess the first time. It was between you, Japan, which is my favorite Asian country, HH's Greg, Megamind, and Luigi. Uh, I hope you did not mind my decision, John, but I did pick somebody else to win. No
I
offense.
I I don't mind. I do not mind. Oh yeah, and
Good.
that also reminds me, both you and me are going to be in the top 170 character contest.
Okay. I know. And that will also apply to both you and me, of course, for my next contest.
Awesome.
But yeah, hopefully try not to be biased. Like, hopefully you don't give yourself immunity too much time, since just in case. I'm just worried.
Yeah, I'm not. Obviously, that's not going to happen. I will try to balance my immunity votes and elimination votes out.
Yeah, so now you can care for equality, and so now you can be fair.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on.
Oh. Okay. Bye. I guess.
Wait, I'm not done yet. Not done yet, by the way.
I know. I know.
Okay, you know what? I think I can continue then. I have to pick between some of my favorite characters again. It's so crazy. Uh, no, I'm not yet. I'm not done yet. I'm just.
I was also interrupted.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it just had. It was so hard, but I had to pick Leonard since I like Match better. I do wonder if he's going to return for the upcoming third movie. I wonder, John.
Yeah, me too.
Yep, this is his worst performance, of course. Now, this is pretty much one of my personal favorite episodes of the contest. You can probably tell why, John.
I can tell why. I can definitely tell why.
Yep. Yep, that's the reason, of course.
Yep, I knew that.
Unfortunately, though, this is also the same episode where another character I really like a lot also gets out, Yep. Bammi, sadly.
Yeah, but it's not really sad for me because I still don't like him.
Did you also start to hate him during this time I uploaded this episode?
Wait, what time did you upload it again?
I uploaded this episode May 29.
Oh no, I already hated him.
Okay.
Well, actually, I wouldn't say hate. It was more like disliked.
Oh, okay.
But don't worry. It's not because of the whole pillow shenanigans anymore. It's really just he was boring, and I do like him in BFDIA, but in Teapot, I still hate him. Well, not hate, but I don't like him. He was just boring.
Except for Teapot 6, right? Since you did mention before that's his only good episode in Teapot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Bammi anyway, since I do find him to be cute. Not just because of what he did to, of course, Pillow, but mainly due to the fact that I do find him interesting and entertaining anyways.
Oh
Especially with his
yeah.
line.
Oh yeah, and he also
no,
has
he
a.
was confused. I remember
He
that,
also
of
has
course.
yeah, he does have a horrific secret that has yet to be revealed.
That could actually give Bammi an arc, don't you think?
Yeah, but I feel like they've forgotten about that.
Well, let's hope that. Well, because I definitely do think Bammi deserves to be avenged. Hopefully, because you already know how much I like Bammi. I'm actually thinking about actually putting him in my top 25. Honestly.
Me. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's better than other options. Oh yeah, and the. Oh yeah, and Oh yeah, and Teapot 6 is his only good episode in Teapot. That also applies with Nickel as well, but Nickel was much worse in Teapot, but much better in BFDIA.
All right. Oh yeah, and John, probably look at my profile picture. You can try to guess why I changed it to him.
Because we were just talking about him. That's
yeah,
funny.
and I also probably want to also show off my feelings, so why not? I may as well have Bammi as my profile picture for a bit, because why not?
That's funny. Okay.
All right. Okay, good. All right. If only, John, that was my mom basically cooking dinner, by the way.
Oh yeah, my mom was calling me over too earlier.
All right. But yeah, I did have to basically said that. I know you did mention this before. You did mention this before that. Yeah, you did mention this a year ago.
Yeah, and I still stand by that statement to this day.
I mean, I do find that questionable on why Bobby did not react to Nelly's elimination, because I do remember them being both close friends, anyways, in BFB pre-split, anyways.
Yeah, yeah, that is also another that is also another reason why I don't like Bammi.
Yeah. Well, I'm also, of course, hoping for both Bobby and Nelly to also do better, at least. But okay, it is the same, I guess.
Yeah, that is also why I also hate Grassy, because he did not give a shit about Basketball and Robot Flower leaving, despite them being best friends.
Yeah, but to be fair though, Grassy was with Grassy was with Snowball instead,
Yeah.
Oh no, you used my fuse. I'm always gonna remember that line.
So will I. That is
definitely one of my favorite episodes, as you can see why, at least. But yeah.
Wait, what did you say was one of your favorite episodes? Oh
the
wait,
episode that just went over.
Oh, I thought you were referring to an episode of BFDI where Bammi said, "You let my fuse." Oh yeah, speaking of that, I decided that I'm gonna delete the video where I did my Belle impression and redo that one after I do Beach Ball.
Okay. Anyways, we have ourselves another country to win immunity, Sweden.
Well, that's sweet. Get it?
Yeah, I can pretty much see Bork. Fun fact, Sweden's actually my favorite Nordic country for me.
Ah, okay.
Since, it's the Nordic country I do have the most info about.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. I'm either thinking about either adding Norway or Denmark in a future contest, since I do like those two as well. But I think Denmark might be next, since Denmark is my second favorite Nordic country, since they invented Legos. That's where Legos originated from.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah, anyways, another disappointing elimination this early. Match, sadly.
Yeah, it's honestly crazy how she actually made it further than Pencil, because Pencil is just better.
Yeah, but I'm also surprised he made it further than Golf Ball, nearly, and Bobby, honestly.
Well, I'm not really that surprised that she made it further than Naily, because at this point, Naily is one of the least popular characters in BFDI.
Alright. But Golf Ball and Bobby, you are kind of surprised since those two are much more popular at that time.
Yeah.
Alright. Wait, but my rainbow hair, isn't that worth I don't know, minus bajillion votes? I bet Match would have probably used that excuse, but yeah. I basically did mention that will definitely be a problem.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and speaking of which, in a future season of my character contest, if there is enough characters that have enough rainbow in them, then there will indeed be a rainbow team.
Okay.
Which is why Existy and Seven were not on a rainbow team, because every team needed at least either 6 or 7 members.
Alright.
You could definitely tell why I added Existy on the orange team and 7 on the purple team.
Yeah. But yeah, if I do want to include another Nordic country, it will likely either be Denmark or Norway. But yeah. And I might also consider Finland, but I am definitely without a doubt not adding Iceland for a certain reason, honestly.
Why? Is it too cold and icy?
That's not really my problem, to be honest. I just feel depressed every time I think about the country, since you know how peaceful they are and how equality they are very much.
Oh, I was just trying to make a joke because their name's Iceland.
Yeah, but honestly, it's for very depressing things, really, honestly.
Oh.
I don't think Iceland is going to be in my character contest anytime soon. All the other Nordic countries, Sweden, which I, of course, added, and Denmark, Norway, and Finland, I'm considering will definitely have a chance, but Iceland is definitely not going to have a chance anytime soon.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry if I was being offensive when I did that joke.
I just miss my country. I could imagine living in Iceland right now every time I feel sad.
Yeah, yeah, and lately I have also been dealing with some shit too.
Yeah, I can't blame you. Another time. And Ruby won immunity since you know how much I like her anyways.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, I got another question real quick.
Yeah?
When the red team was up for elimination in episode 36, if Ruby had already had immunity, who would you have voted to win immunity instead of her?
Number black 1.
Okay.
The fact that I had to pick between these two is just messed up. Because Coiny and Bubble are literally one of my favorites, since they're icons to me.
Yeah, yeah, they're both really great characters.
I remember though this was during this episode was uploaded before you used to hate Bubble, and I'm wondering why did you hate Bubble back then?
I just found her to be kind of annoying.
Okay.
During pre and post split of BFB, but she has been improving since BFDIA and Teapot. Now she's with her friends Match, Ruby, and X.
Yeah, that's true. Bubbles wasn't one of those. Bubbles was always one of those characters that I always liked in the first place, since how iconic she has been, especially with her connection with Leafy.
Yeah. Though that is also one of the reasons why I personally think Bubble should have won BFDI.
Yeah, I can probably see that. I mean, I would have preferred Leafy, but oh well.
Yeah, because
Bubble would
like
have also been good as well.
in my personal opinion, Bubble winning and not letting Leafy in would have made much more sense because of how Leafy treated her.
Oh yeah, that is fair. Compared to Fire, where Fire only did it because the moment where in BFDI 24.
Yeah, yeah, I actually heard from somewhere that they actually intended for Bubble to win, but they just had to create a plot point for Leafy to steal Dream Island, and because Fiery won, they just had to like create some bullshit to where Fiery just didn't let Leafy on because she didn't want to die in his Ferris wheel. That is also one of the reasons why I don't really like Fiery as much anymore.
Okay, but you also don't hate him anymore as well, right? I remember it in your dare list.
Yeah, because I do like his silly little friendship with Gelatin, and yeah, he's also starting to get interesting with 8-Ball and David and Dora.
Yeah, I mean, I can at least agree with you with 8-Ball Dora, maybe, but David, you already know how I feel about David anyway, so obviously, but oh well.
But you do know how I feel about David nowadays, right?
Yeah, you like him, unfortunately. But, I mean, I will admit BFDIE was his best season, but that does not mean, oh, I'm gonna like him anyways.
Yeah, I know. It's just a little bit of an improvement. That's all.
And sadly, between the two, I had to pick Bubble since you know where I placed Coiny in my tier list.
Yeah, yeah, he's like in the top 4.
Yep, 4th place to be exact. Well, Bubble is only 11th place in my tier list. So sadly, since I'd rather get rid of the one I like less, then that would have to be Bubble. Sadly.
Oh yeah, and speaking of which, Bubble is going to be in my top 200 character contest, and Coiny is going to be in the top 250.
All right, let's. Okay, all right, yeah, yeah. See, I just cannot believe that. Yeah, and that's basically another problem. I mentioned that every opportunity character that was getting eliminated was from BFDI, and it's crazy, honestly.
Yeah, and that started to become a problem in my top 140 character contest before it eventually stopped after Tennis Ball got eliminated the second time.
Yeah.
But hey, it's much more common in my contest now, so that's good.
Yeah. Oh my god, Bubble really needs to get a good placement someday.
Wait, but she did already though.
Well, yeah, maybe again technically for a modern season at least.
Yeah. Don't worry though. I do have a feeling that maybe she'll maybe she'll place well in my top 200 character contest.
All right, and I do hope next season she improves. Yes, I'm planning to add Bubble as well.
Yeah, I could see that.
And there's our country neighbor, Canada, winning immunity, of course.
Oh yeah, fun fact. Most of the contestants in this venture camp canonically come from Canada, technically.
Mainly due to the fact that Total Drama, it's based on Total Drama, and that's so, of course, takes place in Canada.
Yeah,
I will probably mention when we're at the end, I will pretty much mention about how I feel like Canada should have, gotten better based off. You can pretty much try to guess why.
Yeah, but honestly, in my personal opinion, I don't think it was that big of a deal because, like, all 3 were good anyways.
Yeah, I agree with you, honestly. But I did think CP and Canada as a finale would make sense, as because of some of the later eliminations we'll get to anyways.
Oh yeah, and speaking of which, guess how many people are going to be in the finale of my top 140 character contest?
4?
3.
Oh, okay.
And what I'm mostly aiming for is 3 individuals from one series.
All
3
right.
series in one finale. Which 3 do you think might be able to make it to that finale?
Probably BFDI, probably even SpongeBob, and maybe possibly an Amazing Digital Circus character. That's basically my Supsin.
Yeah, this is my prediction. My prediction is that the finale is going to be Marker, Pomni, and Squidward.
Okay, and I can tell you, probably would root. Who would you want to root for to win, huh?
Yeah, and I can tell that he's probably gonna make it really far. And
Yeah.
you can already try and guess why I also think that Marker and Pomni would make it.
Yeah, due to how popular they are. You can also
Yeah,
try to
and
guess if those three actually do end up becoming the finale. You can try to guess who I would root for.
Marker.
Yep.
Yeah, and I do have a feeling that he might end up making it to the finale because he is the first character to win 3 immunities.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
no.
that's also why I decided to give the immunity in episode 36 to ASC instead, since I wanted it to be fair, since he never won any immunities.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyways, another tie between two characters I like. I cannot believe this,
Yeah.
because you probably remember that Number Block 9 is my favorite character in Number Blocks.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the fact I had to choose him, I was originally gonna choose Loser, but then I was like, you know what, I like Beauty more, so I may as well just go with my favorite Number Block, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It just had to be like this. Out of all the Number Blocks characters, it had to be my favorite Number Block, the first one out. It just had to be like this. Ugh.
Yeah, I know it's sad.
So much torture, I gotta say. That's not even the worst thing, but okay.
Yeah, I even had to go through some torture as well in my top 140 character contest. And you know what that is, right?
Yeah, losing Jax.
Yeah, and the fact that he was the only Amazing Digital Circus character to be eliminated for 30 fucking episodes.
Until Kane got out. And considering the fact that, he was actually close, I would have been fine with him rejoining over Lai.
Yeah, yeah, if it was actually up to me, I would have actually chosen Jax.
All right. And that would also at least make me happy as well, but I cannot believe this. And I
Don't
cannot
worry.
believe, I
Don't worry,
cannot
though.
believe that I also have to lose my favorite Number Block here.
Don't worry though. I am pretty confident that he might rejoin in the next rejoin of my contest.
All right. Cannot believe he had to be the first Number Block eliminated. I thought someone like 3 or 6 would be out, or probably even 5. But 9 out of all people.
Oh, I get why. Because they were the first 3 eliminated in my contest.
No, it's because of how they're less liked than compared to 9. Well, it's the case with 3 at least, since 3 is one of the least liked characters in Number Blocks.
Yeah, especially with me, because I really do not like 3.
I thought you actually don't hate any more Number Blocks characters except for 4.
Well, actually, I do still hate 4 more. Hey, that rhymed, but I still don't like 3. And you can definitely see why, because in episode 28 of my contest, I did decide to eliminate her over Chica on the yellow team.
Okay. And I will admit 3's personality can be annoying at times, but I still like her for a certain reason.
Yeah, because at times she could be funny.
Yeah, and also since, I don't want to hate on any Number Blocks characters.
Well,
at
yeah,
least I feel at least, but oh well.
But you can tell why 4 is my least favorite.
Yeah, with his round things up Sexton.
Yeah, it just makes him sound racist.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy how 9 is not even like that, since he's a square.
Yeah, at least not to the same extent as 4. I just hate it when people hate on either characters or things just because of their appearance. It makes them sound racist.
All right. But the icon himself has won immunity this episode.
Yeah, and that's also crazy because he did end up being the 8th contestant to win immunity in my contest, and at that time, 8-Ball was the 8th eliminated.
Oh yeah. Anyways, sadly, Mr. Krabs is out. And also, kind of coincidence. I mean, I remember in watching a recent episode, Mr. Krabs is the most recent one to win immunity, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he was. And now all the SpongeBob characters have won immunity at least once, except Sandy.
Okay.
But I am confident that she might end up winning immunity once the white team's up for elimination.
Yep.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, wanted to ask another thing. I am sorry if I am being annoying with all these questions, but since Alec is eliminated and once the white team loses, who do you think you're gonna vote for to win immunity and to be eliminated?
Probably a character I probably don't even recognize, I bet. I'll probably have to look.
Yeah. We are officially cracking the 20s.
Yep. And there is the icon.
And my contest is about to crack the 40s,
I know.
which is a coincidence because it's the top 140 character contest.
Yep. And after being voted so many times, he's finally out.
Yeah, that was at that point he was my least favorite character, but I can say he's at least improving since Teapot 9+10, which is 21.
Yeah, even though 9 plus 10 really equals 19, but
But you
but
get the reference, right?
yeah. I will admit though, yeah. I mean, I always liked Loser since I did kind of like how cool he was, especially with how everyone would like him. To this day, I still think in BFB 7, Clock should have been the one out since you know why he made the team lose, anyways.
I really hate it when people hate on a character just because they accidentally made their team lose at one point. Like, you really think that that's really their entire character just making their teams lose? Like, it's really annoying, you know?
I can't see what you mean, but like it's also due to the fact that Clock is technically the least interesting out of the losers to me, as you can tell.
Yeah, but honestly, maybe it was for the best that loser got eliminated.
Probably not, because you probably saw what BFB 7 was like.
Yeah, but also, it gave the others on the losers more time to develop, especially Clock with his arc with Winner.
Yeah. But yeah, and I do remember that you, of course, did this since I knew you were definitely very happy to see that loser is out.
Yeah. And also, since since we were talking about the losers, I just wanted to mention something that I forgot to put in my tier list as of Teapot 22 is that Eggy has gone down.
Oh, okay. Well, Eggy to me also gotten down to the point where Cake is honestly better than Eggy now, and you can pretty much see why. Because I don't like how she was like with Stapy just leaving him like that.
And also Fries. Like, seriously, how did she actually beat Fries up that badly? He's supposed to be this like unstoppable guy from like BFDIA where he could like beat anyone. But Eggy is to the point where he can't beat her? What?
Yeah, but to be fair though, that's of course in BFDA for Fries. Like this is Teapot Fries we're talking about. Fries technically got sidelined.
And not only that, but like Eggy couldn't even go up the stairs without Teardrop having to grab her ass.
Yeah. I mean, I still like Eggy, of course, but I agree that is kind of pretty messed up.
I do like how they acknowledged her friendship with Teardrop though. That was nice.
Yeah, they were able to at least recognize that, but they still haven't recognized it with an alien bomb. Great.
Yeah, that is also why I feel like Eggy and Neely are two of the hundreds of contestants that I feel like have no chance of rejoining Teapot.
Yeah.
You can already tell who I predict is going to rejoin Teapot, right?
Yeah, and you know who I believe is definitely going to rejoin Team. Well, who I hope to rejoin, since you already know I'm going to vote for her. But I do also have other predictions on others possibly rejoining.
Yeah, the two that I think might rejoin are Puffball and maybe Fries and maybe even Cake or Foldy. Those are my top 4 predictions and maybe even Remote, but I honestly hope not.
All right.
Let's go! Episode 9+10.
Well, at least this little choice was easy for me, at least. Because you
Yeah.
know who I would pick, of course.
Yep.
Especially since, 2 of them have already won immunity anyway, so it's fair. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's another coincidence, but great. Ruby's sadly out.
Oh yeah, that's a coincidence because a currency character both won immunity and one got eliminated.
Huh, yeah, Ruby's technically the first one in this contest that got eliminated that has won immunity before, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had to say that already. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. Though I am confident in saying that she might make it to the top 25 in my 140 contest.
Alright, and I know you did also hate Bubble and pretty much Ruby at some point, but so why did you used to hate Ruby anyways?
I just found some of her moments to be disgusting, like when she was making those jokes about like unclogging Yoyo's toilet, and that one moment where she actually ate the hair in BFDIA 11, and of course when she shrank Pin. But honestly, nowadays I honestly think that was actually deserved.
Yeah. I agree with you with that moment with, striking Pan, because honestly, I still find that to be undeserved.
Yeah. And honestly, but though looking back after seeing some stuff that Pin did and how she acted like between the events that she was still in the game after like episode 15, honestly I think that Ice Cube removing Pin's face was honestly justified. Lol.
Okay, that's too far though.
Kinda, but she was a lot nicer when she didn't have a face.
She was basically nothing. I'll probably say this, but she was much more nicer when ONOC had her limbs.
Oh yeah, that too. The only reason that even happened was so that Teapot, so what was just so that there could be a justification for Pin saying that BFDIA sucked in Teapot too.
Yeah, and I could understand Pin because I will admit, before it revived, I did not like BFDIA, as you can tell.
Oh yeah, because it got canceled.
No, you can say that, and also due to the fact that, the fact that it has to start off with,
Oh yeah, that episode was actually really boring.
Yeah. I will say though, BFDIA has definitely gotten better after, it came back, after it got revived. I will tell you that.
Yeah. Can you try to guess which episode is my favorite in BFDIA?
I actually have no idea.
Oh, okay. At least still guess though.
Alright, this will be a wild guess, but 10?
Nah.
17?
No. You're getting closer though.
15?
Even closer, actually.
14 then?
Yes, it was 14.
Okay.
It's a close one between 14, 20, 23, and 24.
Alright, you can try to guess my favorite episode, of course.
22.
Yep, since but yeah. Oh boy.
Alright.
But yeah, that's another twist I mentioned before. It would be the randomizer twist.
Randomizer. That is also what I do use sometimes for ties, so that people don't think I'm a rigger.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to just like pick every single time.
Yeah, and you're probably gonna be happy about this, Sean. You can see what I mean. If this was a regular vote, of course, Strick would definitely want immunity, and honestly, I would have been fine with that.
Yep.
Since this is Strick we're talking about. Oh boy, let's see, and the wheel lands on
me.
Yeah, basically that's what I mean by saying, oh, you will definitely like this episode. So, this is the first time you want immunity, of course.
Yeah. I remember when that was my profile picture.
Yeah, but I used your old profile picture. I hope you did not mind then.
No, I did not mind. And as a matter of fact, I am using that profile picture right now.
All right, cool. Yeah, and I'm definitely gonna also use your new profile picture in the next season, by the way.
Oh yeah, because it's much more recognizable because it's got Mavs in it and my OC.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and also, do you like my profile picture on Discord?
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's my supercar.
All right. And yeah, if this was based off regular voting, King K. Rool would have been done right over here, you know.
Yep, but let's see what actually happened.
Yep. Yep, KK Rool was able to survive at least.
Just barely.
Yeah. And instead that led to yep, her being eliminated.
Yeah, I cannot pronounce that.
Adizio Dazzle, technically. She's one of
Ad-
the villains of one of the Equestria Girls movies, by the way.
oh.
And also one of the few villains I technically like.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, there are a lot of villains I like, but also a lot of villains I hate, but not because they're evil, but just because some bad stuff, and also because bad writing as well. I also don't like twist villains, and I also don't like this cliche where someone is evil just because something bad happened in their past. Like, can we just have a villain that's just evil for the sake of it, like for no reason, just for the funnies?
Okay. Anyways, yeah, that was the first My Little Pony character to be eliminated, as you can tell, of course.
Yep.
And it just continued to go on and on because it had to be a streak related to some placements, as which I will get to, you know.
Yeah.
And the star himself, but pretty obvious, since, you know.
Luigi.
And coincidentally enough, yep, sadly he's out after being so close on being eliminated the last episode because the Will was able to avoid him. Sadly, King K. Rool, who is my favorite villain in Smash Ultimate, is sadly out now.
And sadly, the same thing happened to Jax in my contest.
Yeah, but also pretty crazy if you ask me, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was of course saying that since you know he's the first video game character to be eliminated, anyways,
Yeah.
and it was bound to happen, you know.
Oh yeah, in a season, in a future season, are you planning on also having teams that are not in the way they were in those other few seasons?
Probably not because I do feel like I personally prefer equality better, honestly.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not necessarily talking about the color teams. Just like just like the teams where like one team is up for elimination in one episode, you know?
Yeah, I'm probably still gonna stick with that, but to be honest, but yeah. Anyways, that's it. That's sadly and cut. And technically, now we're already 10% done with this contest. You know, because you know, 220 divided by 22 equals 10.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh no, so speaking of which, what was I gonna ask? Oh yeah, what episode do you think the top 140 character contest will end at?
Probably 140, but depends. Really, honestly, I have no idea.
Yeah.
You know, it makes sense since Leafy eventually won immunity and Coiny. It makes sense that my boy Fiery would, of course, win immunity. You know.
Yep. You know what I just found really ironic about my future contest ideas?
Yeah. What?
So in this top 140 contest, Robot Flower ended up making it. In season 2, Flower is planned to be in it. In season 3, Fiery Jr. is planned to be in it, and in season 4, Fiery is planned in it.
Oh wow! And you know, Robot Flower and Fiery Jr. are both related to the winners. You know.
Yeah, it's crazy. Sooner or later, we're going to see a counterpart to Fern and Book.
Okay. If, you know, Book wouldn't be FDIA. But, oh well. Anyways, now we have at least KK Roll's not the only video game character eliminated this time. Wario is now joining him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, at least it wasn't Waluigi.
Yeah. So, I mean, you... But, oh well. But, yeah. Yeah, I can tell that, you know, Waluigi would definitely be really sad, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if you have noticed yet, but yeah, Waluigi is in fact my favorite Mario character.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that to me, John.
Yeah, I forgot I did.
Waluigi's probably gonna be like, wow!
Oh yeah, speaking of which, this is my Waluigi voice. What do you think of it? Is it good?
I mean, it could have been better, but oh well, that's fine. You know, these two immune is kind of a coincidence how, you know, because you probably remember Polly Pons, you know, the creator of Moss, basically made this funny version called Battle for Smash Ultimate where BFDI characters are in Smash Bros.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, Mario is of course #1 in Smash Bros. And Fire is also #1 in Battle for Smash Ultimate. That's a coincidence.
Yeah. 25.
What was that laugh all about?
I thought of something funnier than 24.
Oh, that SpongeBob joke. I see what you're doing there.
Yeah, because we just reached episode 25.
Yep, aka the episode where Ice Cube is sadly out. But to be fair, he also did win another season anyways.
Yeah.
Can you believe how nearly wiped out Free Smart is already?
Yeah, it's honestly crazy. And Free Smart is like the second best team in BFDIA. In BFDI to ever exist.
Yeah, honestly. And, you know, I also do remember that you did, of course, hate Ice Cube a lot as well. Like, what was your reason to hate Ice Cube back then?
Because she removed Pin's face.
Oh, wait, that's it? Because you really did not hate her for anything else before then? Like in Police Split or anything else in Teapot?
She was really just boring, and I didn't like how she just constantly kept on reusing lines.
Okay.
Like all the time. It was like mixtures of new lines and reused lines all the time. But now she's mid.
All right. Will there ever be a chance that you might like her in the future?
Maybe. I did like her in episode 24 of BFDIA.
Yeah. And I did find her heartwarming speech before she got eliminated in Teapot 16 to be really heartwarming, you know, the same episode my girl Pin got out.
That was actually what started moving Ice Cube up.
I guess after what she said with Book.
Yeah, and also I really liked how she was going to be involved in the one arc along with Fanny.
Yeah, I'm worried though about her getting erased from existence since you know she's one of my favorite characters anyways. Another icon to me.
Yeah, honestly, Ice Cube should not have been eliminated in Teapot 16, but at the same time, I wish he got eliminated in episode 4.
I mean, due to the fact that I would have been fine with Snowball leaving, since you know I don't like him, but due to the fact that he's popularity, I can tell it was already not going to happen. And Grassy and Book, Grassy is of course a fan favorite, and you know Book had a lot of good members. So if I guess I would have been fine with Price Tag leaving, to be honest. No offense.
Oh no, none taken. I don't like Price Tag as much as I like certain others, and you already know who I wanted out.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, and I really got my hopes up because it was the first time where he wasn't the first save.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said before, Ice Cube already did win a season anyways, so
Wait, why does that say, why is there brackets with 35 in it?
oh, that's because you know how that season, of course, had, you know, a debut, and of course, in case a rejoin happened.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, and the top 140 character contest did have a debut, too.
Yeah. And there's the Asian country I mentioned a lot that won immunity. I mean, you already know I like both of these characters, so it's really going to be hard for me to choose. But due to the fact that, many BFDI characters were getting out, you already know who I picked, of course.
Yeah, and honestly, one of these two is in danger of becoming my least favorite character in their series.
Well, so there's a chance that George Pickens may not be your least favorite in Peppa Pig?
That is not who I was talking about.
Oh, you said one of those two in their series. You're referring to Bracelety in BFDI since, she got let the few down ranks down due to the fact that Gracie was actually good in Tea Part 21.
Yeah, she is in danger of becoming my least favorite, to be honest.
Okay.
Though it's really close between her, Rocky, and Saw.
Well, as long as Leafy's not there, I'll at least be happy. I remember which song I, of course, used. It was Death's Fiend and Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. And I was the first person to win more than one immunity officially. Can you believe that?
That is crazy. Do you know who was the first person to win more than one immunity in my contest?
What?
Homestar Runner.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, and speaking of which, once I do the top 170 character contest, if I don't do the teams, when I do like the color team phase, which team do you think you would fit on?
Maybe Rainbow, just in case.
Well, I mean, actually, I don't think I'll have a rainbow team. But if I don't have a rainbow team, then what? I don't know. Use that photo as an example. I'll use that photo.
I mean, I guess to be fair though, my main part would be yellow in my OC, so I guess yellow then.
Yeah, I was thinking either yellow or cyan.
Yeah, that could work. Anyways, oh no, he's gonna eat himself. I remember watching Crazy Square commercials a lot back when I was back a while ago,
Yeah, and honestly, like they were really crazy.
Yeah, since they would commit cannibalism.
Cannibalism. That is one of the first times where someone actually claims cannibalism correctly.
Okay.
You know what I'm referring to? Many people are claiming that Teardrop eating Nickel and BFDIA 4 was cannibalism when it really wasn't.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because they're different species anyways. Teardrop is Teardrop and Nickel is a literal coin related thing.
Yeah, the same thing happened in BFB 13 where 4 ate Pillow, and also BFDIA 19 where Pin ate Gelatin. Who, by the way, Gelatin is in fact a child. So Pin killed a
once
child.
again, they're different species anyways. And plus 4 didn't actually, purposely eat Pillow because she was hungry because of what Pillow just said in BFB to the point where she was also in the exit.
Yeah. It was just the fact that people were claiming that those 2 times were cannibalism when they really weren't.
Mm-hmm. And Levy is now catching up to how I accomplish more than one immunity, of course.
That's nice.
Yeah. It's just a signal that eventually once you would win a 3rd time, you would then, of course,
Please, oh my god. You know I regret making that decision though, right?
I know, but I have to mention that because because of venting moments, and you know how struggled I had with this contest. Ugh. Hopefully your plan does work. And now that happened because now nearly almost all of the Peppa Pig cast is nearly gone.
And the best one is the only one left. Wait a second.
And yeah, like I mentioned before, Peppa Pig, and especially since since she already won alongside an Ice Cube won a season as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And now my favorite Peppa Pig character is the only one left.
Mm-hmm. Yep, at least that happened. At least a preschool character finally won immunity. At least.
That's nice.
Yeah. I do remember one time you said you never watched Pingu. Is that true?
That is true.
Oh. Well, if you do want to look at it, all of the episodes are actually there on YouTube. Well, at least most of them. So you can probably watch it there.
Yeah. Cool.
I remember watching Pingu before when I was little. Yep. Again, it was a time between one of my favorite Beef Guy characters and, of course, your favorite character. I hope you did not, feel that insulted, though.
Well, I didn't necessarily feel insulted, but I did feel sad that my favorite got eliminated that early.
Yeah, but on the bright side, what? Random user, it was... Hold on, who are you supposed to be? What just happened?
I don't know what happened.
Okay, anyways, you're about to say, oh, that my favorite got eliminated this early, but on the bright side, I did say before he at least did better than, 27 others at least.
Yeah, that is true, and at least he is still in my contest where he's honestly at this point guaranteed to at least make it to the finale.
Uh-huh. But it was just a hard, okay? It was between him and Bracelety, and I like Bracelety more anyways.
I'm not that mad. Actually, I wasn't even mad at all. I was just sad that my favorite got out. It wasn't because I wasn't gonna get angry at you or anything,
Yeah, but you said this though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I did say fun, but sadly, that means, Yep. Sadly, Daddy Pig is out this early.
two of my favorites getting out back to back in their series, that being.
Yeah, and I almost experienced something very similar as, Pig got out that early, and Number Block 9, who is my favorite Number Block, also got out before the final 200. So now we, of course, experience differences,
Yeah.
But later, though, I will experience something because not just, related to another character that I really like, but also related to another favorite I have. Yep, and now Singapore was the third one. All right. You can try to guess who I, of course, picked,
Pin.
Yep. I'm just humming the music that I would, of course, play, Another hard time where I had to pick between another two characters that I really like. But I, of course, picked... Yeah, sadly him, since... I mean, that was then when I was still getting back into Octonauts, It did have to be like this, sadly. Okay, now this time I believe I might be able to be lucky enough to actually not get a copyright claim. So this time I can officially play the music. Oh, okay. Nice to know random user was here. Oh, Marcel 55. Oops, I did not recognize that you were there.
Hello. I have a question. Why did your voice sound like SpongeBob?
You're probably the second person that says my voice sounds like SpongeBob now. I don't know, like, voices can come in many different sizes,
Yeah, you have a very nasally voice. Anyways, okay, look, I'm gonna change my profile picture real quick.
Alright. Alright, well, John, I believe this is where I can actually play the music this time since, Nintendo music is less.
By the way, emoji marbles. Emoji marbles. What's your profile? What's your OC?
I mean, you'll probably see. I don't know who you are, random user was here. Maybe next stream, but at least tell me more about yourself so that I can see you in the comments. And then you can join the next stream.
But emoji marbles. What's your OC?
Ugh. Oh my god. Can I at least get a... right over here on this thumbnail, right over here. That's my OC.
Alright, let me see. Hold on. Your OC's on the thumbnail?
Okay, let me just open image and tab. Right.
And emoji
Right
marbles.
over here. This is my OC right over here.
Alright.
There. All right, John. Well, I believe this time I can actually play the music this time since, video game music at least.
Anyways, okay, what playlist is that?
My 220 character contest.
My 220 character contest, okay?
Yeah, and John, you heard what I said, right?
Yes, I heard what you said.
All right, because, this time it's Nintendo music technically, so I believe I might be able to be fine here since I did on the other streams anyways.
Anyways, look how fucking ugly this shirt I have. Look how fucking ugly this shirt is.
Oh my god.
And here's this ugly ass shirt. Look what it says.
Oh my god, I hate this.
Is it kind of?
Yeah. Okay, but Marcel, I'm trying to do something right now. I hope you can. I hope you don't interrupt me, please.
All right, but by the way, I sent you something on Discord.
Okay, I'll check it out eventually.
But
All right, I'm gonna continue this then. I bet you like us to Waluigi Pinball, right, John?
Waluigi Pinball mentioned.
Oh, I totally recognize that, actually.
Waluigi Pinball mentioned.
I am really sorry, John. I had to do this to you back, but
it's okay. It's okay. I forgive you.
Yep. I know you're probably sad to see Waluigi also out this early as well, huh?
Yeah, all my favorites got out so early.
Hey guys, I have an idea. Guess what it is?
What? What is it? I hope this is quick.
Mario has BFDI characters. What do you think Mario would be? Pen?
Fire Leaf, because it would make more sense.
And I think Flower should be Princess Peach.
This is where things do get more interesting,
Hey, I saw a Japan cat. That's my old OC.
What?
I saw a Japan cat. That's my old OC.
Oh yeah, that's true. I bet you're probably happy that this happened, John, huh?
Yes.
And you can say, well, I'm of course disappointed since, I like Bristolity a lot. That's great. No, I like to see. Well, I mean, I can.
By the way, I ordered a Bart Simpson farting shirt.
Okay, I think this is probably a good place to stop for now since it has been so long, but we only gotten that much episodes. And I'm, of course, eventually gonna, eat dinner. So I hope you don't mind that, John.
I don't mind.
But yeah, 30 eliminations so far, and many of them ended up being crazy,
Mm-hmm.
By the way, about Mario role-playing as BFDI characters, I think Flower should be Princess Peach. What about you?
I don't know because Fire and Flower are not even a couple.
But well, this is our universe, our fictional universe.
Okay, but oh well. Anyways, I will definitely see you next time, John. When we, of course,
Are you gonna end the
Yeah.
stream?
Also, I got a question. Are you mad at Squiggle for betraying the black team and helping E in episode 33?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the Squiggle guy, but I am pretty cannot believe that he had to do that. But yeah. But yeah. Anyways, John, hopefully we can we can definitely go through then more struggles in my character contest, but we'll definitely see, of course, what more
What's your
stuff
opinion on-
happens, of course, especially with the eliminations.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Are you ending the stream?
Yes.